up? Who's awake? A lot of stuff happening in the news. Lots and lots of stuff. They are already outside the courthouse where Nick is appearing today. Nick Reiner, accused of killing his parents, stabbing them. They're already out there, and you got to think it's California time. So it's like five something. Yeah, five something, almost 6 in the morning out there in Cali. Wow. And so he should be making an appearance today. Yesterday, he didn't make an appearance because they said that he wasn't medically checked out or approved yet, which Alan Jackson said is procedural. So he should be showing up today. Got a couple of stories to share with you guys while we kind of hang out. I haven't seen a set time yet when Nick is going to show up. So we'll be checking throughout the day when this guy shows up. I don't know that we're going to see the inside of the courtroom. But we'll see. We'll see. Nick got the best of the best, I guess. Alan Jackson. Good morning. Let me make sure I start up the other streams as well. Let everybody know we're on live. Did you guys get a notification? I don't think I have notifications. And yeah, we're on early. We're on early. I'm normally not on this early. But we're on early because these stories are starting to stack up. And if I don't get it out, I'll never get it out. You know? So there's sometimes I have a bunch of stories I keep meaning to cover and talk about, and then I never even cover it. But I don't think I have notifications. Let me double check. Not on YouTube anyway. Yeah, no official notifications on YouTube. So if you could hit the like button, please, that'll help out. Get the story out. I'd appreciate that. Good morning. So the first thing, let's talk about some other stories. Let's talk about some other stories. There was this mother. I don't know if you've ever heard of this story yet. This mother and a doctor that apparently was discovered in a Dollar Tree freezer. Weird. Mom of two found wandering to freezer in Miami. Let me fix this a little bit. In Florida. This was in Miami. I stay out of Miami if I can help it. Miami Dollar Tree around 8 a.m. Police officers responded. Her name is Helen Michele Garay Sanchez, 32 years old, identified as a woman authorities discovered inside of a Dollar Tree. And so they actually saw her walk into the freezer. I think she came the night before. She's on video and she just walks in. Never walks back out. She wasn't forced. There was like nobody behind her. Like, get in there. Nothing. And according to scanner audio that was obtained by CBS Miami, they're saying that supposedly she was found naked. Now, that's not actually that crazy because they say with hypothermia, that's actually one of the effects. Like, once you start freezing, you actually, at some point, your body, I don't know why, I don't know the mechanics behind it, but your body actually starts to tell you, I'm really hot. I'm like blistering hot. And you start to take off your clothes. It's actually kind of common with people with suffering from hypothermia. And so she was found naked, which is even weirder. Oh, well, I don't know. I guess that's not really weird. The fact that she walked in there, just casually walked in there, that's weird. And they're saying no foul play suspected. And surveillance footage hasn't raised any alarm bells. But Sanchez's death remains under investigation. And the first person I thought of when I heard of this story was Kanika Jenkins. That girl, the black lady that walked into a fridge years and years ago, was the topic of many conspiracies. Kanika Jenkins. Let's see if I can fix Twitch. I can fix this. So, she apparently in her country, she's a doctor. This happened. So the medical examiner have not released the official cause of death, manner of death, as of December 16th to the 17th. Likely hypothermia under the consideration and given the circumstances. I'm wondering if she had some type of substances in her or mental health problems. I don't know. That's just the oddest thing to me. To just walk into a fridge, I guess. I don't know. Sanchez was an anesthesiologist in Nicaragua, specializing in congenital heart failure. Nicaragua. So she was found naked. Police stated that footage shows no forced entry or involvement of others, ruling out foul play at this stage. Investigators are speaking with her family about possible mental health factors and the exact reason she entered a restricted area. So supposedly it was restricted. And I guess Dollar Tree doesn't have any policies, maybe about checking the fridge at night or something. And I don't understand how these stories happen. When you walk into the fridge, do you get locked in? There's a door locked? How do you get trapped in a fridge and not be able to get out? Is it locked from the outside? Did somebody at the end of the night come and lock it? So they said she was visiting relatives in Miami since early 2025 December. And left behind 2 young children in Nicaragua. So she was just here visiting. Imagine that, you go on a trip, see family, the American dream. America's so good and amazing. I'm not saying it isn't, it is actually, but you go with these just exciting, aspirations. The holidays, 'tis the season to be jolly. And somehow this lady walks into a fridge and that was it. Did somebody give her something? Was she at a bar? What was her steps before walking into this Dollar Tree and her behavior? So they have a GoFundMe launch for her because they want to send her back to Nicaragua to bury her. Dollar Tree has issued condolences and is cooperating with the police. No arrests have been made. No suspects are mentioned. Let me play some news
This morning, Miami police, they are searching for answers after a woman was found dead inside a freezer in Little Havana. Her body was found at a Dollar Tree that's on Southwest 8th Street. Police have identified that woman as 32-year-old Helen Sanchez. Now, video from this scene shows police and fire rescue heading to the back of the store, some of them wearing gloves and carrying equipment. Neighbors say they are simply stunned.
It's totally shocking. I can't believe it. And they won't let nobody in.
I think it's crazy. I think I never heard something like that in my life.
I haven't heard of Kanika Jenkins.
The circumstances surrounding Sanchez's death are still being sorted out.
Let me play another clip over here. Oh, this is the GoFundMe. 15,000 out of 20K to go back home. Female doctor found inside of a Dollar Tree freezer, reportedly naked. It's crazy. What a way to go out. Did she not have a cell phone? Was there no cell service inside of the freezer? Strange.
That's on Southwest 8th Street. Police have identified that woman as 32
Little Havana.
10 News starts right now.
And good evening, South Florida. I'm Aaron Maven.
I'm Sanella Sabovic, and off the top at 5.
A gruesome discovery inside a freezer at a Dollar Tree in Miami.
Police found a body earlier today just off Southwest 8th Street. Local 10's Hannah Yashivi is live at the store as police work to find out what led up to all of this. Hannah.
Sanella, Aaron, this Dollar Tree store here in Miami's Little Havana neighborhood is now open. But for many hours early today, it was completely closed as police officers were investigating after they found the body of a woman inside a freezer right inside the store. Customers shocked to learn this Dollar Tree, located on 968 Southwest Street in Miami, was closed for a good portion of the morning. Miami police officers and detectives very active here, trying to figure out why and how this woman died. She has now been identified by the police department as 32-year-old Helen Garay Sanchez.
Queda uno como qué está pasando y eso y sí un poco.
You start thinking about what's going on, and I got concerned with what I just learned, that there was a person found dead.
Es algo doloroso.
It's something painful, a family heartbroken now because of the death of a person, and we don't know what truly happened.
Many customers reacting to the news after Miami police officers confirmed the body of Garay Sanchez was found inside a store freezer earlier today around 8 a.m.
Then he also said that the workers at the Dollar Tree don't recognize her.
An officer confirming that information, saying
that's the other thing. The worker said they don't recognize her. I mean, I don't know. I guess she just walked in and went straight to the freezer, I guess.
The woman found dead was not an employee. Police tell us their investigation so far indicates Garay Sanchez walked into the store on her own last night, did not purchase any items, and eventually made her way to a restricted employee-only area where the freezers are located. Officers say she remained there overnight and was found unresponsive when employees returned to that area this morning. Earlier today, we saw her family members outside the Dollar Tree waiting for answers as detectives continued their investigation. This van from the medical examiner's office showed up to remove the woman's body for further investigation. Around 1 p.m., once officers left, employees reopened the store to customers. And the Miami police officer I spoke with tells me this woman was never pushed or forced into this freezer, and that they know she walked into the store completely on her own last night. We also know that investigators and detectives from the Miami Police Department right now are speaking with her family members, trying to determine if possibly she was dealing with any mental health issues.
So strange, but and I guess for some, you know, some light conspiracies have come out of it, I guess, online, at least on Facebook, I guess. And some people were really perplexed by her being naked, but again, that's actually a side effect of hypothermia. People start stripping their clothes, taking off everything because they just feel like their skin, everything's just hot, and it's really not. But yeah, Kenneka Jenkins, I had just started YouTube around that time. Kenneka Jenkins, it was a high profile case in 2017, so I wasn't really, I didn't cover the story, but it was a huge story back then with a lot of conspiracy, and there was a lot of videos. And both of these women, the Miami lady and Kenneka, was found in the freezer. But it was different stories, though. Because she was at a hotel, Kenneka, she was partying. And there's apparently a surveillance video in both of these cases where the woman enters the freezer with no forced entry. Nobody's like, a gun to your head, get inside, you know, or come in to like lock them in. So it's really strange. But the difference is Kenneka appeared highly intoxicated. She was like stumbling on video, and she was drinking at a party. The undressing thing is called paradoxical undressing. It's a phenomenon associated with hypothermia where victims remove clothing due to a false sensation of heat. Jenkins was found partially undressed, and this lady, they're saying she was completely naked apparently. And Kenneka was 19. This lady's 32. Kenneka was at a hotel party. Kenneka had alcohol in her system, but also an anti-seizure drug in her system. We don't know yet about the Miami lady. They're waiting on toxicology. And it was ruled accidental death from hypothermia. But with Kenneka, I think they were saying her friends were involved. The hotel was involved. Like, it was all this crazy shit. I don't know if any of you guys remember this story from back in the day. And the family apparently settled a wrongful death lawsuit against the hotel, which, you know, due to security and negligence issues. So they got that. They got between $6 and $10 million. Wow. And it was heavy on conspiracies, foul play by the friends, organ harvesting, family dispute, everything from under the sun on some Candace Owens shit. The Egyptians, the French, the Israel, everything. So yeah, that was a nutty story. Now, the weird thing too, and I was wondering because I was asking earlier about these freezers, and I was kind of looking into it. Like, do these freezers lock from the outside, or what's going on? With Kanika, it says that the door latch shut, self-closing, but had a functional internal release mechanism, a circular handle, or a push button that allowed opening from the inside. Police confirmed it was working properly, so I guess she was so far gone, or maybe she didn't know about this function. That she didn't engage. She could have just easily bloop and got out, apparently. The lawsuit claims that someone locked it from the outside. They were contradicted by surveillance video that shows nobody on the outside. Now, with the Miami story, Helen, reports indicate the freezer was locked. She entered a restricted stockroom area voluntarily per surveillance, and police have ruled out foul play or forced entry. Okay. The details on the door mechanism are not publicly available. But it says commercial walk-in freezers and coolers typically have an internal safety release to prevent trapping. Okay. And it made me think, too, completely unrelated, but the Cecil Hotel, Elisa, the infamous video. I'm sure, I mean, some of you guys might not know about that story. Elisa, it was a trippy-ass story. Everybody thought that there was somebody involved and coming after her. There was this woman that was, I think this was in L.A. I drove by the Cecil Hotel years ago when I was in Cali. Looks like a complete dump, shithole. I don't know. Was it the Cecil? The Cecil's the one with all the serial killers, like the killers and stuff. Is it Cecil? Am I thinking of another one? I think it's the Cecil. But yeah, this notorious video. She's in the elevator pressing the button. The elevator's not working. And then it's like she's looking. Is there somebody there? There's somebody out there. Is there a ghost? Somebody stalking her? This one was high speculation, high everything. And I would be too. Because this shit looks crazy. It really does. Like, what the hell? What is she doing? What is she hiding from? You know? But at the end of the day, they said that she had mental health problems and she was bipolar and taking all this medication, but apparently she had stopped taking her medication, is what they say. And so they believe that caused her to have hallucinations. Drug-induced, that was the theory. She was on medication, an antidepressant, a mood stabilizer, antipsychotic, and bupropion. All kinds of medications. People just load you up with shit. We're going to try this. We're going to try that. We'll see how this works. Side effects, thoughts of suicide. But it's for depression and all this other bullshit, right? So that's what ended up being the story with that. The Vanishing Cecil Hotel. Oh, yeah, no side effects. Oh, it's just death. It's just death. That's all it is. Okay. Let's see what else. So, okay, so we covered the unfortunate, sad Miami doctor, mom of two, found in a freezer. That is crazy to go visit this place. To go visit the pits of Florida, Miami. And here's another Florida story. Apparently, and this should have made no sense to me. This makes no sense. So there was this family visiting Florida from D.C. Let me pull it up here. Visiting from D.C. They stayed in a vacation rental home. This was December 13, 2025. Just after 3:30 a.m., the Osceola County Sheriff's Office and Fire Rescue responded to the Airbnb in Kissimmee, Florida, to reports of an unresponsive 20-month-old toddler who appeared to have drowned in a hot tub. The family was visiting from Washington, D.C. Now, the father, Reynard Tyrone Ho, 33 years old, told investigators that he had consumed alcohol and ingested 2 different narcotics before taking his daughter with him into the 37-inch deep hot tub. He fell asleep for an estimated 15 to 20 minutes while holding her, then woke up to find her unresponsive in his arms. He attempted CPR in the backyard. The child's mother was inside the home at the time trying to put their other 6-month-old to sleep and called for help. Detectives have determined the father's actions constituted neglect, noting the incident involved a series of preventable decisions, including impairment, lack of supervision around the water. Ho was initially arrested for child neglect causing great bodily harm with aggravated manslaughter of a child added the next day. He appeared in court December 15, where no bond was granted due to the state's motion for pretrial detention. His next hearing is on the 19th. Okay, 2 days from now. Crazy. So I guess he was drinking. And the weird thing, too, this was at 3-something, 4-something in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. Supposedly he had gotten up because the child was awake. So some reports are saying that he had woken up. He entered the master bedroom where the mother and the infant were sleeping. He noticed the toddler was awake. So he picks up the toddler, I guess. And it's like, okay, let's go hang out in the hot tub at 2, 3 in the morning. Allegedly. Odd. I think it's a little odd, but okay. And then he passes out because he was incapacitated.
He fell asleep in a hot tub with his daughter, who ended up drowning. David Jones from our sister station in Orlando has the story.
The father
and there is a GoFundMe for the dad. So I'll put the link.
Was arrested.
I'm just kidding. There's no GoFundMe. Imagine that. Like, I feel like we're just such in a time that, like, you could be the perpetrator and there's like a GoFundMe for you and shit. Like, let's raise funds.
And booked into the Osceola.
There could be, though. There could be some shit for the baby, maybe. Who knows? Maybe there is something for the baby.
Osceola County Jail. The sheriff's office says early Saturday morning he woke up after falling asleep in a hot tub with his daughter in his arms. 33-year-old Reynard Huff from Washington, D.C. was arrested by Osceola County Sheriff's deputies for child neglect with great bodily harm. Those charges were upgraded Sunday to add aggravated manslaughter of a child. The family was staying at an Airbnb in the Four Corners area. Huff awoke after falling asleep in the hot tub, finding the 20-month-old toddler unresponsive. He told detectives he took her into the hot tub and fell asleep with her in his arms. She was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead.
And that was David Jones reporting. The Osceola County Sheriff's Office says this is still an ongoing death investigation.
Horrible, man. Horrible. Senseless death. I wonder how much time he's going to serve. Oh, there was this story, too. This is one of the stories I meant to cover yesterday, but I don't know. We were so busy yesterday. There's this story that went viral. I haven't watched the video yet of a Target employee supposedly gets threatened and abused by a leftist activist. Some lady. And let's just check it out. I haven't watched it yet. But I guess she was being targeted because she was wearing this freedom shirt at Target.
Why?
They let you wear that shirt here?
Yes. Why?
So,
why are you taking my picture?
Why are you wearing that shirt? You're working. It's not a
red shirt. I can wear any red shirt.
It's not a plain shirt.
It doesn't have to be
It's a Charlie Kirk shirt.
Yeah.
It's just so weird, too. Like, you have way too much time on your hands to care what the fuck these people are wearing. You're just going shopping. You think I'm examining people when I walk into Target? Employees? Target is known for having a lot of pretty women in there. I mean, at least the ones here in Florida. But you think I'm walking in there and, like, bothering and examining, especially an elderly lady, up her ass, recording some shit to post on TikTok?
Yes, I know.
Are you fucking stupid?
No.
Why the fuck would you wear that? You're at work.
Damn, so nasty too and vile.
Target. That's not a Target shirt. It's not a plain red shirt. You support a racist.
It's not racist.
You support a racist.
He's not a racist.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he fucking is.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stand here and argue with you.
You're not. You should go get your manager. You should not be allowed to wear that at work. Unacceptable.
And if this lady feels so strongly about it, just go tell the manager and that's it. I mean, causing this whole commotion and recording this lady and all this stuff, just go tell the manager, and then if they want to do something, they can. If not, then they won't. I mean, jobs usually have some type of political thing. You know, that's up to the job. But like this whole commotion and stuff. Like,
unfucking acceptable.
That's your opinion.
No, the opinion is he's a fucking racist and you support him.
That's your opinion, ma'am.
And you should not be allowed to wear that. This is going to be taken above your fucking head. That's insane. Insane.
Have a nice day.
And she's still graceful. That's nice of her, the ladies.
In fucking insane. Piece of shit.
Damn, so I guess it kind of backfired. I haven't looked too much into the aftermath, but of course there is a give, send, go. And they've created this for the lady. They want to send her on a vacation. Apparently this is the lady here, I guess that was on her. Make racism wrong again. Mexican heritage something. And so this is the give, send, go. Damn! Okay, it's at $70,000. Jeannie's going on vacation. Hey! Wow, okay. So they have funds for her going. That's the latest drama with I guess an outside incident where they're saying it's racism or whatever. Lord almighty. Oh, let's talk about this real quick. Look at the media though. Hold on. See Reiner? The media's out there early. 6 a.m. in California. They want to catch a glimpse of Nick Reiner. Maybe coming into the courthouse, coming out of a vehicle or something. I don't know if they're going to go through the front or the back. But if I can just catch a glimpse, 5 seconds for the hit. So they're out there early. Now, yesterday with the, let's see where we're at. The Brown University, I meant to do this last night too, but it's just, Brown University, there was a guy's name being mentioned, Mustafa, I won't say the last name, but there was some guy that many people thought was involved, and that was the university shooter. I mean, it was going viral on X yesterday, like blowing up. And reporters tried to somewhat ask about it, and these people, the president apparently claimed she didn't know that there was information being scrubbed from the website. She should have known about that. I don't know how. And they didn't know anything about this person. And then I guess after they went and posted this. And it said, Brown University statement, doxing of a community member. In the aftermath of the shooting, we've seen harmful doxing activity directed toward at least one of the members of the Brown University community. It's important to make clear that targeting individuals could do irrevocable harm. Accusations, speculation, and conspiracies we're seeing on social media and in some news reports are irresponsible, harmful, and in some cases dangerous. For the safety of the individuals in our community, blah, 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 blah. If this individual's name had any relevance to the current investigation, they would be actively looking for this individual and providing information publicly. So I think they should have addressed it sooner, but at least they addressed it, because in some of these situations, they won't even address it. At least they addressed it. And so I saw some people take down their posts of the guy and his name and picture, and I thought that was respectful to take it down. But that's why I was kind of hesitant. I was hesitant to really talk about it much and, say that this is the shooter, because I was like, I don't know. We don't know. I'm not trying to get sued. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's not him. But he did. The body type looked like the same body type. Doesn't mean it's the same person, but the same body type, the skin tone, even the walk. The walk was similar. I was like, oh, shit. Maybe they're onto something, but apparently not. So I guess people can move on from that. The Allah Akbar thing is really interesting, though. I don't know. They haven't addressed it still. So I did see a report. As to supposedly why police are not being like this person said, Allah Akbar. There was a reporter. He said he asked in person. And he said what he's hearing behind the scenes is that witnesses are giving conflicting reports about what was yelled. And so that's supposedly why they don't want to come out and say, oh, this is what was said, is because supposedly they're getting conflicting reports. Allegedly, whatever.
The police did a press conference yesterday, and they would not confirm what the shooter yelled out before he started shooting. So you had a room of 60 students, 11 which have been shot, 2 are now dead. But that means that there are, at least they said somewhere around.
I still have a hard time believing that they can't confirm what this person said, what was yelled out. How do they not know what was yelled out before the shooting took place and all these people were shot?
60, 40 students who were in there who could confirm what this man shot. At least 5 students that I have seen have confirmed on the record in media interviews saying that he yelled Allahu Akbar. Well, I think that that's pretty relative information. I think that that would matter as there's a massive search for the shooter. Did he yell Allahu Akbar? Because then we should be looking for a, free Palestine terrorist. And Reddit yesterday, by the way, had to shut down the Brown University board because Free Palestine students were celebrating Ella Cook's death. The police did a press conference yesterday, and they would not.
More here. Thank you for the correction. Appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't realize I misspelled Owens. Maybe it's better misspelled. I'm just kidding. Owens. Yeah, so that's kind of all that with that. Let me see. I do have a bunch of different stuff too that I don't know if I want to get into. All these random, all this random stuff with Candace Owens and Erika. Well, I do want to do the one thing though, as far as I do want to do the one thing as far as the Candace thing, and that would be Candace has been spewing a bunch of bullshit, and some people have been eating it up as fact, and it's crazy to me that people do, but I guess that's what it is. This person on the screen, Candace was saying that Egyptian planes were shadowing and following Erika Kirk for years. And so this guy went, because she had shown screenshots of like flight logs, and this guy went and tracked all the stuff that she flashed on her screen. He actually paused it and went and looked into all of it, and it's all bullshit. Most of it's bullshit.
Of people, the two Egyptian military aircraft, SU-BTT and SU-BND, tracked Erika Kirk's movements 73 times over 3 years.
Between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SU-BTT, the yellow plane, and SU-BND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erika's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. I am telling you this information has been completely verified. I am showing you this on a spreadsheet now. These are all the instances in which this plane, 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erika.
She says the odds of this happening randomly are
less than a 0.00000001% probability, okay, under random distribution models that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erika at these times.
In her words, the Egyptian planes hold the key.
The Egyptian planes hold the key, and that is obvious. Maybe these planes might be the key to everything. They hold the key to solving Charlie's assassination.
Egypt to Israel to France, the United States to TPUSA to Charlie's murder. This entire web.
Huntress, I had kind of thought about that. I did. I seriously thought about that. Not even thinking about that like in a disparaging way. I actually thought, like, is she having some type of mental thing, schizophrenia or something, you know?
Rest on one claim, that these two Egyptian planes tracked Erika Kirk 73 times. To support it, Candace said she used Flight Radar 24 and showed a spreadsheet on her screen. I screenshotted that spreadsheet and rebuilt it line by line. She says she verified everything using Flight Radar 24. So I did exactly what she claimed she did. I bought the Flight Radar 24 business subscription, the same one she says she used. Then I went further. I purchased a $950 3-year flight log from FlightAware to independently verify every entry. When you compare what the planes are actually doing to what Candace claims they did, the results aren't close. 66% of her location claims are wrong. And in 60% of the cases, the aircraft is on an entirely different continent.
We might have a more closer time to his court appearance here. I found a new feed. Associated Press has something starting at 11:15. I wonder maybe that's when the appearance will actually have, because I haven't seen an actual official time when this guy's showing up today. Reuters has a feed.
Kane Koa the Great, very popular in Hawaii, millions of followers, did a breakdown of just the planes and the data that she was given that she believes she checked out. And I'll give it to her. I don't know how to check this out, but they've had experts check it out. And what she said was 66% inaccurate. Now, TPUSA's told me it's still weird. These planes, a few times we're doing this, Who knows? Maybe Israel was involved. We don't know. They want an FBI investigation of accomplices, and they're very close to coming out and just saying, "Hey, we're not saying there couldn't be something going on, but it ain't us." So overall, this is healthy. People are asking questions.
Just asking questions. I don't know. So yeah, that's the flight thing. That guy did a really good video. I watched it. He had posted a video on YouTube. I'm glad Alex Jones brought him on. Candace was catching a lot of flack yesterday too. People were saying that her audience was upset because they felt like she was walking it back, or she's not going deep enough, or that she was bought and paid out. Let me see if I have that. She's sold out. She's bought and paid for. And then we're going to start talking a little bit about Nick Reiner and Rob Reiner. I have some stuff for that too.
Everybody, Shabbat Shalom. Just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody back at home. Happy Hanukkah to our greatest friends and allies. And, this is a good time to mention that Israel does have a right to defend itself. Tucker Carlson is Adolf Hitler. And TikTok does need to be purchased by... They were sort of...
Candace Owens fans are turning on her, claiming she got the call and sold out. No! They said her super chats are turning on her, people in the chat turning on her. I had a really good compilation video somewhere.
Erika Kirk was productive and says she is very happy that we are on much better feet. Many of her super chatters were not happy with her throughout the show as she shared details about her meeting with Erika. Despite the productive meeting, Owens said she still felt there were shady characters at TPUSA. Towards the end of her show, Owens addressed some of the negative comments and accused the chat of being botted. Take a look at this. One chat says, "People may call this dumb, but Candace looking to the right too much. Mikey phone call doesn't add up with her timeline. And WTF are you putting the plane debunking on the website, not YouTube?" One says, "Fuentes, if you see this, please expose who this actor is and who funds her. You have the green light." One person saying, "Wow, this breaks my heart." Another says, "This is just a word salad. She is rambling. Sad to say, but you are not passing the vibe check. The market is always right, and the chat is overwhelmingly saying you are not the same." Oh, it gets crazier. Candace having to tell her audience she doesn't have the goods is not going well. Here's more. One person says, "So in other words, you were wrong about everything you said." Another person says,
I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
"It wasn't a plane. It was really a flying carpet. Candace has been set up. These bits in the room are next level." Another person saying, "Is this an apology video for Candace?" And here's where it gets real fun. One person saying, "Candace Owens has either been cloned or threatened. She is backtracking and backsliding after her productive meeting with Erika Kirk. It's over." Here's one. One person tweeting, "This is super suspicious. I think she got cloned. Their official..."
Yo, I joked about that yesterday. I was like, yo, maybe she got cloned, man. Maybe they replaced her, or maybe they flipped the switch on MK Ultra. And of course, some people
actually promoting the new Candace. Another individual says, "We will only see a clone of Candace from December 16th onward. It takes 3 months to grow a clone, hence why it took them until now to finally have this meeting. She was a nice girl. I hope her and Ye's clone still get along in the future." I hope that's a joke.
Oh. No, man. No, it can't be. It can't be. I think here's Candace Owens replying to the debunking of the planes. Let's see what she had to say.
Locked in this meeting when people online were another round of debunking the Egyptian planes. I want to be very clear. We discussed the Egyptian planes, and I have since worked on an incredible document about the Egyptian planes, which we are going to put up on our website, because I realized that when we shared that spreadsheet, people assumed that one of the columns, which was actually saying where the planes landed on that day, because it was plus or minus 3 days, was exactly where Erika had been on that day, and that was inaccurate. And so for clarity, I had been working on the last week on turning it into an interactive timeline that we can put up on our website.
Why the website? Just put it up on YouTube. Why just the website? Because the thing is, it's all out there now, and you need to address this. And if you're saying that, no, that's not the actual information, that it was just planes landing and that it's not the conspiracy part, well, just put it all out there for everybody to see and consume. So it's just there's such a danger and people out to kill you.
That these Egyptian planes are incredibly shady, and that they were in fact tracking Turning Point USA faith, broader events. Of course, Erika was at some of them. Charlie was at some of them. But it is the pattern here is undeniable. So let the naysayers and people make videos trying to, fifth round debunk these planes. I also want to say to you that I feel very confident that I know why these planes have caused such panic. And it is because there is overwhelming evidence that these planes regularly fly in and out of Israel. And I'm going to present that evidence tomorrow. I say that strongly. This is I feel very confident saying these Egyptian planes are flying in and out. And notice I'm saying planes because once I was able to connect people that were on those planes onto other Egyptian planes, I was able to realize that these planes are flying in and out of Israel and turning their transponder off each time that they do it. That is now makes perfect sense of why there was this mass panic, right? It's not exactly like we have a strong Egyptian lobby in the United States. Not like we're like, whoa, well, those darn Egyptians again are trying to get TikTok censored. I mean, every person in the game, Barry, acting. Well, these are the usual suspects that act if something is a threat to Israel, okay? Which is, they should.
All right. Apparently, Chris Cuomo reacted to Candace Owens. Candace had said that people told her not to drink the water. I guess they met in person. Even though after she said she couldn't debate them in person, but it seems like she met Erika in person to have a 4.5 hour conversation. Okay. And she said that they told her not to drink any of the water provided there, so she didn't drink the water, but she brought her own water and didn't drink that water either. Okay. Just in case they try to kill her, I guess.
It's one day.
Chris Cuomo.
That's how long the truth had a chance to gasp for life before Candace Owens killed it. Both Erika Kirk and she said yesterday's meeting was good, was productive. One day later, Owens is back using her platform to spew animus because it's time to get paid, my friends.
Time to get paid, baby. Cha-ching.
She's provoking rage bait, calling people a TPUSA, her former company, people that she's fine with when she sees them at a party. But for you, she calls them liars who can't.
Well, that's the thing. There was this comedian the other day that he said he went to a Tucker Carlson party, and that all these people, and some of these people that don't even supposedly like each other, they're there chilling, having drinks, fucking laughing, and that it's all for like entertainment to get people riled up and get the views in or whatever.
Be trusted. Let's get perspective from someone who knew Charlie Kirk very well, who understands the circumstances around his death, and understands.
Oh, hold on. Checking out. Oh no. Looks like he might do a news hit. I wonder if we could. Is Fox live right now? Let's see, Fox 11. There's a couple of people out there doing news hits. Probably not even live. Probably just, recordings for the TV station. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything. Oh, I think I see the news hit. Posted 20 minutes ago. Okay, we'll check that out in a little bit. We start talking about Nick and Rob and all that stuff.
What's going on with Candace Owens very, very well. TPUSA spokesman Andrew Colvett. And Andrew, I got to say, first of all, heading into the holy days, Merry Christmas to you and the family. And I was surprised that you guys have been as assertive with this. But I guess my original advice to you, which was just let her spew, it will blow over. It hasn't happened. But she came out of the meeting and literally said, okay, guys, I'm alive, Andrew. She said, I'm alive. Like, what do you make of that kind of response from her?
Honestly, Chris, I can tell you that I live my life wonderfully immune and distanced from a lot of the chatter that's going on online. And listen, I think Erika, she showed so much grace and poise, both when you think back to the memorial and how she forgave her husband's assassin, because that's biblical, that's the Christian ethic. And if you're wondering how Erika's going to run things, just look at the way she operates. She has tons of courage. She has tons of poise, and she's always going to lead with trying to do the right thing. And so, listen, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I'm not going to get out over my skis. I'm just going to say good for Erika Kirk, leading the way, showing the world how to do things by example, modeling a Christian ethic and good behavior. And listen, I'm gonna pray for peace. I'm gonna hope for the best. But in the meantime, we got lots of work to do.
So she took the meeting to show grace and hope that it would go away. And Candace Owens is really going to use it as fuel. You know what happens next, right? She's going to start saying things that happened in that meeting. I hope you recorded it, because she's going to now say she's got new clues and indications.
That's what I was thinking too. I wonder if they recorded it. I would have tried to cover myself, you know.
Because she's getting paid by doing this. I know you used to know her. I've been around her a long time. This is different, and I don't think it's going to end. What does that mean to you? Because she talks about you a lot also.
Yeah, well, I've known Candace since probably 2018, 2019, something like that. So yeah, we've known each other for a number of years. But listen, I haven't talked to her that much really since 2019-ish, and I don't know where her head is, and I'm not going to speculate on where she's going next or whatever. I'm going to just hope that the seeds planted in good faith and the olive branch that was offered, that's going to bear fruit. And like I said, in the meantime, you know, Chris, you and I have talked about this. We at Turning Point, we just want to get back to work, and we have AmFest this week. We've got all the biggest speakers in the conservative movement coming to the Phoenix Convention Center, and it's all about breakouts, action, 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 what we can do next. We've got work to do as conservatives. We've got work to do to kind of bring everybody back together and stop the distractions. And that.
All right, stop the distractions.
Alive?
I'll let you guys know that I am alive.
I am alive? I mean, how do you take this seriously? Why do you guys keep asking me questions about this? Egyptian airplanes. I'm alive? Who is she meeting with? Hamas?
I am alive.
I am alive? I mean, how do you take this seriously? Why do you...
All right. So yeah, I don't know. That's all. It's just too much with this Candace Owens crap. I think she'll be fine though, as far as, because people are saying her audience is eating her up. She's gonna be fine. They're gonna keep watching. She'll be all right.
The real enemy, the real problem is the culture of paranoia that she has created. Because now her own audience doesn't even believe her.
That's what happens. That's true. That's what happens.
Watch this live stream today. 300,000 people watching, and all the comments were negative. All of them. In the live chat, all of the top comments. If you go to the top comments of her video, every single one is saying, I can't trust anybody. It's a big club and no one's in it. I'm done with this. This has rotted my brain. I'm going back to my normal life. We can't trust anybody. Everybody is saying that she got the call. She sold out. She even addressed it on her show. She said it's all bots. So I guess that's part of the conspiracy now too. The French, the Egyptians, the Israelis, the Beekeeper Society, and even her own audience that disagrees with her, now they're part of the conspiracy too. And the audience think she's part of the conspiracy. Everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else. And now she's being devoured by by the monster that she herself created. She whipped everybody up with this insanity, totally irrational, totally paranoid. She got told the facts. She's trying to save face, and she's now being devoured by the monster that she herself created, who is saying, oh, now she's in on it. Now Erika was at her wedding. She's in the club too.
They said Trump too. Trump's supposedly not happy that Israel lobbying is losing influence over America.
And I will say, you know, if you go back 10, 12, 15 years ago at the most, the strongest lobby in Washington was the Jewish lobby. It was Israel. That's no longer true. You have to be very careful. You have a Congress in particular which is becoming anti-Semitic. You have AOC +3.
Why does it have to be Israel? Why? Who cares? Why does it have to be the biggest influencing over America?
You have those people, Ilhan Omar. She hates Jewish people. And you have to be very careful because there's been a big change. You know, if you...
Oh, she's trying to say like maybe they're taking over or something? Alex Jones has some thoughts about the Brown University shooter. He thinks that there's a cover-up. The identity. It's a cover-up.
I'm not going to say his name at this time, but I've seen the different reports out there and seen the photos that they scrubbed off the Brown University faculty area of their site, and the man's face is a dead ringer in the body for the few images and videos that they've now
Yeah, they really did have like the similar body type.
released. They're not releasing the HT from inside the school. And it's a Muslim. He's got a very, very wide face. Pudgy. I mean, it's shape of the shoulders, the body. I mean, if it's not him, then the shooter had a body just like it. But why would they scrub that off of there the first day while they locked down all the students for 12 hours when they knew they could just go to the surveillance security room and pull up where he came in?
Yeah, Alex, you might want to be careful how you speak on this, man. Haven't you caught enough heat and learned enough shit already with all this shit that you had with Sandy Hook?
Where he went?
I wouldn't be talking shit about these school stuff. I would just follow exactly what the article says, or just show the article on the screen and then move on. After all that shit this guy been through with the lawsuits?
All of it. And we know the shooter did just come in, go through the building, straight up to that particular class, and boom, got the head of the Republicans. Charlie Kirk 2.0. So that's where we are. And the whole school, the police system, they're all acting extremely guilty, as everyone's already pointed out. They weren't asking people to help find the person. They're not going to be able to sweep this under the rug. You can go look it up for yourself. I'll be covering it more on my show today at 11 a.m. We're digging into it right now, but it's bad, real bad. And these colleges, not just here but in Europe, Australia, are literally intifada Muslim Brotherhood nests, and they've called for the global jihad. Thousands of imams. They're making their big move. And all the people that are obsessed with Israel, I'm a big critic of Netanyahu and thinks Israel does it, but when these attacks happen, they're like, oh, it's really Israel doing it. That's who's doing it. Yeah, right. Yeah. Israel's behind shooting the National Guard. All this crap. No. Islam's a real threat. It's a real issue. And people need to learn to hold multiple issues in their mind at one time. If I'm out in the African savannah, I need to worry about cobras. I need to worry about lions. I need to worry about hyenas. Crocodiles, hippopotamuses are really vicious. And so, you worry about communist China, you worry about Israel, you worry about the Ukraine war, you can be worried about Islam.
Okay. I think now we could probably just move on to the Nick and Rob stuff. I have a couple of things, and I think as we watch some of the stuff, I think I'll find more. I'm thinking the thing might be for 11:30 today, but I'll try to find out more. That's just based off on Associated Press, but the arraignment. So Rob Reiner and Nick Reiner, we talked about it yesterday on live. There was a lot of information that came out about his history, the substance abuse, potential mental health stuff, which kind of goes hand in hand. Even the kissing on the lips, which I saw some comments yesterday after the live stream, and some people were like, I kiss my parents on the lips and whatever, and then some other people think it's weird. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things. Some people feel it, they don't mean anything by it, or think it's normal. To me, I think it's weird because I think on the lips, to me, I think that's a different type of affection. I don't know. I guess these people just kiss anyone. Well, I guess it's your kid, so maybe for them, the difference of affection is their kid, I guess. But to me, it's like relationship escalating to another level, I think. I mean, I don't know. But I guess it's just, maybe it's your personal view, culture, whatever. I don't know. I think the lips thing is a little odd. That should be for your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever the fuck. Not for your, I don't know, not for your family, ancestral, whatever the fuck. I don't know. But that's besides the point, because that kissing thing really is, compared to all the shit that's happened, it's really kind of nothing in the story of, it seems like, Nick and his dad. Hold on, I got Taylor Green dunking on Trump because she disagrees. A lot of people disagree with the comments that he made, but there's people that agree with the comments that he made because they're saying that this guy, Rob, was trying to destroy him. I have a couple of things I can play for us. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, this one here, too. I wanted to see what this was about. Here and here. Love you to bits, kiss you on the lips. Oh, so maybe Tammy says something to two males, dad and son, kissing on the lips is weird. I guess it all depends, I guess, on your own personal beliefs, I guess. Yeah, the kiss on the cheek, too. I do that with family, or even my daughter, like a little kiss on the cheek, hugs. You know, kiss on the forehead, just like a tap kiss on the forehead. You know, I just feel like with the lips, it's like a more intimate, next level type of thing. To me, you know, you might as well stick your tongue out. You're doing all that shit. What's next?
Obviously a tragedy, and just don't people shouldn't focus so much on how many times he was treated.
You know what it is too. Man, because I've been watching the Ed Gein thing. That guy that was a killer that was obsessed with his mother, and his mother had a lot of issues. She was like deeply religious, but like crazy. Really, really crazy. And so she was like, you shouldn't touch women, don't fornicate, don't do this, don't do that. Isolated him, kept him very restricted. And the guy... Mother, I love you, mother. Mother. I love you, mommy. Guy was like, how old was he? 30, 40? He got into his 50s. Mom? Mommy, I love you. Cutting off body parts, peeling skin, flaying skin, making ornaments and shit, chairs, lamps, nipples, vulvas, collecting, putting them in boxes. That shit drives you crazy, man. Mama's love. Maybe it's because all these stories I'm listening to is like, nah, man, you know, kissing on the lips. Fuck out of here. You know, it's like the Ed Gein story is crazy. I was watching the Netflix thing, and then I started watching this other series. I didn't finish the Netflix one. I'm 4 episodes in. I didn't like how they fictionalized a lot of the details, and so I find myself constantly going to Google and fact checking. And I understand, like, maybe they make the story more interesting by embellishing a bit or adding things to it. But then when you start looking and comparing, a lot of the shit is not what they said. A lot of it is, and a lot of it isn't. It's like almost half and half. And so I prefer like a more factual, more true story than like all adding all this stuff. And then the Netflix one, they keep. So I didn't know that all these movies like Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Norman Bates. I love that show. That show was crazy. Norman Bates. It was all based on Ed Gein. Norman Bates. If anybody's seen Norman Bates, that's based off of Ed Gein. Mother, I love you, mother. Obsessed with his mother. Didn't want anybody around his mother. Didn't even want his mother dating. Nothing. And then he like sexualized his mother too, like in a way. Like he was like all into her and stuff, like looking at her body. And then the woman that he killed would look like his mother. And then he'd like wear their faces. He'd have their skin of their faces. He'd wear their faces. And he had a whole bodysuit of skin that he'd wear and start dressing like a woman that looked like his mom. She was nuts. All right.
Obviously a tragedy, and just don't people shouldn't focus so much on how many times he was treated. Oftentimes it takes multiple treatments to get somebody into sobriety, and then relapse happen, and they got to go back and tune up. But I want to address something you said a few seconds ago about what should families do. Rob Reiner said something really unfortunate there, where he said, I know my son better than anybody, and I should trust my instincts. One of the key features of addiction as it advances is it uses every positive aspect of our glorious instrument, the brain, including our relationships and our parental instincts, in that every instinct you have as a parent when dealing with an addict will be wrong. It just will be wrong. And the disease makes sure of it. The kid doesn't know he's doing it, but the illness of addiction brings the parent into it and starts taking advantages of all these wonderful instincts that we have as parents. So you got to have people in your corner that can support you. The next thing you must do is either get a therapist or go.
Yeah, he's right about that. Like, people or families that are dealing with that maybe have a loved one that are going through that. Like, not only does that person need help themselves, but then, like, supposedly the family, probably you're gonna need to get help too, because you're a victim also in a way of this stuff, kind of, you know. I thought that was really telling when he said that yesterday. When I saw that interview and Rob said that.
And, people shouldn't focus so much on how many times he was treated. Oftentimes it takes multiple treatments to get somebody into sobriety, and then relapse happen and they got to go back and tune up. But I want to address something you said a few seconds ago about what should families do. Rob Reiner said something really unfortunate there, where he said, I know my son better than anybody and I should trust my instincts. One of the key features.
Well, he said that, and he was talking about, like, more than any of those experts, which I understand, like, what he meant and what he's saying. But sometimes too, it's hard, because if you're the parent yourself, it's kind of like you're biased, of course, to your child, and sometimes you're not able to see, or blinded. And apparently, maybe he was blinded until the very moment, or somewhat blinded. I mean, he had to have known, but somewhat blinded until the very moment Nick went crazy and turned on him and started stabbing him, or they say, you know, slit the throat. And it's that thing, I guess you think that I know my son very well. And I'm sure he does, you know, but again, you get, like, blinded. So he I'm sure never in his life, maybe he would have never thought Nick would do this, stab and kill both of them. Maybe he thought this would have never happened. We've had our instances, we've had our arguments, our yelling, all this stuff, but he would never harm us physically like this to this point.
Of addiction as it advances is it uses every positive aspect of our glorious instrument, the brain, including our relationships and our parental instincts, in that every instinct you have as a parent when dealing with an addict will be wrong. It just will be wrong. And the disease makes sure of it. The kid doesn't know he's doing it, but the illness of addiction brings the parent into it and starts taking advantages of all these wonderful instincts that we have as parents. So you got to have people in your corner that can support you. The next thing you must do is either get.
It's denial to protect your heart. Yeah, man, it was denial too, man.
The therapist, or go to a 12.
Well, John, that was some of the criticism, because John said a multimillionaire who threw his son on the street. I understand the ultimatum that I think they proposed to him, but at the same time, some people, when I saw the criticisms, they're like, okay, he was homeless, and he was, like, in all these different states, just homeless and around drugs. And you got to wonder too, that story that we saw yesterday, he was like 14. He said he was buying prostitutes, and that's how he lost his virginity, and he was getting high. I know some people in the chat were saying, oh, they were getting high at 14, and so I guess they felt it's normal. I don't think it's normal to be getting high. Maybe it is in 2025. I mean, these kids are doing all kinds of shit. I wasn't getting high. Maybe I was a late bloomer. I didn't smoke weed or anything till way later on when I tried it. But the reality is, a lot of people and kids, I'm not saying it's right, are smoking and whatever in high school, maybe even middle school, whatever.
It's a program.
But then buying prostitutes too.
Yourself, like.
Let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is Marjorie going off on Trump, I think.
The major fallout happened yesterday with his statements on the tragic murder of Rob Reiner and his wife. MAGA faithful reacted big time, and they called it out. It's all over social media. People, his supporters, including myself, we didn't appreciate hearing the president, who himself was shot, and after Charlie Kirk's horrific murder.
But some of these kids too, it's like, I mean, especially after you get to a certain age, At some point, you have to take responsibility for yourself. So to say Rob too, like, well, just dump. I don't know what their upbringing was. So maybe Nick had all this pent up whatever in him. Whatever, who knows? But at some point, you got to give him an ultimatum too. I would think you're not just gonna let them destroy your life and destroy you and just live for free and not do shit or earn anything. You need to go get help.
We didn't appreciate, even if you don't agree with Rob Reiner politically, there was no reason for his statement to be the statement that he made.
Yeah, when he says, I mean, this was in the immediate aftermath of us finding out about Rob Reiner, and obviously now his son has been taken into custody. You said that his murder was not about politics or political enemies. The president called him bad for our country and said he was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned.
I thought that statement was absolutely completely below the office of the President of the United States, classless, and it was just wrong. It's a tragic murder. It's a family ripped apart, and from my understanding, what I've seen on the news, it was drug abuse and mental illness. And many families across America deal with family members that are drug addicts or have mental health issues. And I think the president should have responded with compassion and talked about those issues. He didn't have to make it about politics. And I think that was, it was really below what we expect our president to talk like.
There's people on both sides of the coin. Wow, look at the media out there. So much media this morning. Woo! Maybe I should look for some official updates, too.
Jack, also, this, the tragic murder of Rob Reiner, his son, 32 years old, Nick, has been arrested. Again, a total tragedy. Donald Trump with a post on Truth Social that I'm not going to read just in the interest of time, but it got a lot of attention yesterday. It was criticized widely on the left, which is predictable, but also on the right. And your tweet caught my attention. And you were one of the first. You said Rob Reiner called Trump for Donald Trump to be jailed over his lies. I'm not surprised Trump said what he said. This bothered so many people, Jack. Why didn't it bother you?
Well, I think for two reasons. Number one, because Donald Trump has been Donald Trump in public for 40 years at this point. For the last 10 years, we know that Trump is always a counterpuncher. He's someone that if someone comes at him and attacks him, he's going to return in kind. Rob Reiner had joined an organization, worked with John Brennan and James Clapper to spread the Russiagate conspiracy theory. We were just talking about conspiracy theories, and tried to put Trump and his family in jail. So, no, it doesn't surprise me that he would counterpunch over. He said it was sad that it happened, and I think that's true, but he also didn't mince words. And at the same time, look, we're not going to go back to the old Republican Party of Paul Ryan and apologize first.
Exactly
it doesn't work.
Yeah. But some people are pushing back, some people are fighting back on Trump's comments of Rob Reiner.
And his wife were just murdered by their own son. And somehow, the president of the United States managed to make it about himself. Here's what Trump posted the next morning. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director, has passed away, together with his wife, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. It's true that Reiner was a harsh critic. He called Trump supporters MAGA scum and said that Trump was mentally unfit for office. I get why Trump didn't like him. He's entitled to his feelings as a human. But as a leader, he has a responsibility bigger than his feelings. Some are saying he's just telling the truth. Don't be soft. Okay, let's assume that what Trump is saying is all truth, no opinion. Is truth the only virtue? Is temperance, the ability to have self-restraint, not also a virtue? Wisdom is knowing the difference between what you can do and what you should do. Is that not also a virtue? And even if Trump said the truth, so what? Why say anything at all? This wasn't relevant to his job. This wasn't even a political rival. This is a Hollywood director Trump didn't like. When violence happens, whether it's the United Healthcare CEO, Charlie Kirk, or Rob Reiner, the first, second, third, and fourth thing we should be talking about is violence is unacceptable, not rushing to litigate what the victim believed. not using death to score points. What Trump did is the rhetorical equivalent of using another man's eulogy to settle a score. But we've become so desensitized to violence, so consumed by petty disagreements, that a man can be murdered, and the president's first instinct is to remind us how much he hated him.
Let me see. They were supposed to have dinner with Obama. So yeah, I mentioned that yesterday. It's kind of interesting. That night, Nick, well, yeah, not Nick, I don't know about Nick, but Rob and Michele was supposed to have, they were all supposed to have dinner. But, obviously he was killed and murdered, so that didn't happen. This video kind of went viral for this guy. He was talking about the whole situation.
You want to know why I call Reiner's dead? Real fucking simple.
Damn.
My friend, speaking of the dead here, you had a son. You had a son in turmoil. You had a son with problems. You had a son with emotional fucking damage. And you knew this. You sent this kid everywhere, and then you wrote him off. From what I understand, he spent quite a bit of his time homeless. And let me tell you something, son. Your son ain't made of the kind of shit that I'm made of. I spent 3 years out in Watts, L.A. on the fucking streets myself. And let me tell you something. My big ass almost got raped by a bunch of motherfuckers. So I know your fucking son probably did, or worse. And where were you? What were you doing while he was going through all this fucking turmoil? Where was your wife? Well, you were on TV shows talking about how fucked up Trump is, talking about how fucked up the people who voted for him were. You didn't do anything to help, not even the people in your own household. And then you decided, just like Trump said, the Trump deranged fucking syndrome, you decided not to even see the problem, not to even recognize it, to think it's something different. What was that quote? Blood will see us through? Really? How'd that working out for you? Oh, and by the way, as far as Trump's part in this, that man has the right to say whatever the fuck he wants to. This guy spent years and years and years and years and years doing nothing but having to choke on and take that shit from people like him. All of you motherfuckers did it. All of you are still fucking doing it. And maybe if this guy wasn't so concentrating on something that he couldn't fucking control if he wanted to, no matter how many fucking movies he did, maybe he would have seen the catastrophe that was heading for him in his own fucking home. So, whose fault it is the man's dead? Pay a little bit closer attention when you're looking at your kids and they're going through their changes and shit. Because I did. And when they decided to get the fuck out of Jacksonville, that was a fucking happy day in my life.
Yo, this guy stuff today. He said when they got out of here, when they left, that was an amazing day. Wow. Wow.
That's it.
Wow. The interesting thing too is like when he talked about homelessness and like how he was homeless for a couple of years and just how he almost got raped a couple of times. Who knows what this guy Nick went through? I'm not saying murdering his parents were justified at all, but I'm just wondering who knows what he went through and what he's done on those streets of LA or the other states. He was in different states too. What he did in the streets to get by. There was a new video that was dropped too. I think this was last night of Nick. This was at a gas station, purchasing a drink at a gas station moments before he was arrested. Let me put it on full screen. There he is. It's only a couple of seconds long, but... And then I think he steps out of the gas station, walks a little bit, and gets arrested. I thought there was some other video, too, like in front of the gas station. Or outside of the store or whatever. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to like. Who knows what the home life was for? Like, what was going on at home? The things that we saw at the outside, or the things that happened at the parties. Very, very little. But probably what happened. What we know. There's video of the arrest too. They put that full screen. Cops rolled up on him. But the kid sounded like a menace. For whatever reason, whatever's going on in his life, he sounded like a menace, and a lot of people knew about it. Obviously, including the parents and the father. They say he didn't resist arrest. I thought he, the way I looked at it, I thought he was resisting, but they say he didn't resist. Let me see if I can get an actual time too for the thing today. See if they updated an official time. Boom, boom, boom. Psychologist warned of his manipulative behavior. Nick convinced his father that the doctors were the real problem. I'm telling that clip that we saw where the doctor just now was talking about it. I think maybe Rob felt guilty that he sent him to these doctors and did this and that. Maybe he felt bad, or the homelessness and all that stuff.
Because the film focuses on stand-up comedy to some extent, who are some of your favorite comics in the game right now? And for Nick, only because you were talking about these WWE-styled microphones, who's your favorite wrestler? If you say Rowdy Piper and Macho Man Randy Savage, we got to be friends, man.
Don't say those.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
I used to love Rey Mysterio as a kid.
Yeah, that
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam, the frog splash. And Rey Mysterio used to do that, what was it? The 609. You know, he goes
619.
Oh, 619. You would go through the ropes. And
Hey, Rob, how do you know that?
because the boys, my two boys, Nick and his older brother Jake, they used to love wrestling, and they would wrestle with each other. We brought them a mat so that they could wrestle, and I took them to some of the WWE events. They got to get on, on the stage.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
It was Jake.
No, but what?
I think this guy hated his father too, and I had heard or read somewhere that he was jealous of his brothers. It made me think a little bit of Ed Gein. I know it's completely nowhere, but Ed Gein was like jealous of his siblings too.
Wasn't that guy with the the guy with the broke the?
It was Jake.
And what did you do?
Some of our favorite comics are.
Okay, comics. No, but you were there. You got to meet.
I wasn't there at that one.
Not that one,
bro.
but who did we meet?
Shit. I was the
Trish
one.
Stratus.
Yeah.
You met Trish Stratus, didn't you? And the Big Show. Did you meet the Big Show?
Met the Big Show.
All right, so you were there, or just that one time he wasn't. Okay.
That was a great scene, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see, Nick Reiner. Let's see if we got a time yet for today. 10 o'clock. Sources indicate the appearance could happen today, though it might be delayed again if medical issues persist. No specific time. So supposedly no specific time yet, okay.
On the last time he spent with director for the November 14th.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Apparently, where's that article? There's I guess a friend of the family, a friend of, I think a friend of Rob shared a story. He said, I slept in the same house as Nick. Rob Reiner, close friend, shares chilling account weeks before the murder charges. Cinematographer Barry Markowitz revealed that he slept inside Rob and Michele Reiner's Brentwood home weeks before their violent deaths. Markowitz, a close friend of Rob, told Page 6 that he stayed at the family residence while in Los Angeles for the November 14th premiere of The Perfect Gamble. According to Markowitz, Rob personally insisted he stay at the house rather than book a hotel and eagerly welcomed him into the family's daily routine. For 5 nights, Markowitz said he lived alongside the Reiners as they went about their lives as usual, which included sharing meals, watching movies and basketball games, playing with the dogs, and spending evenings together. Most striking, Markowitz said, was the complete absence of fear. I slept in the same house as Nick. He recalled emphasizing that at no point did Rob or Michele express concern about their safety. Nick, who has publicly battled drug addiction since his teenage years, appeared to be doing well during the visit. He described Nick as present, engaged, before noting that he stayed busy playing tennis, shooting hoops, joining family dinners, and helping around the house. He was just normal in the sense. Nick washing dishes, taking out the garbage, bringing him drinks. Markowitz said nothing about the family dynamic suggested tension or danger. Overall, he said his time with the family was a blast. He admitted that makes their brutal killings even more puzzling. Wow. So parents, I guess maybe they were comfortable, maybe. Comfortable. They probably would have never thought this kid would turn and kill them. And both of them. He could have spared one. Maybe if he hated his dad so much, he just could have killed the dad and left the other one. But he killed both of them. Or vice versa. It was Rob Reiner conspiring with John Brennan and Jim Clapper to overthrow the democratically elected President Trump as part of Russiagate conspiracy. Was Reiner's connection to the CIA, who financed this op. Let's take a look at this. This was posted yesterday. It's 20 minutes long. I don't think we'll need to watch. We'll watch the whole thing, but I want to hear a little bit what's going on here.
Either person can sit at either place.
Either place?
Whatever's good for you.
I don't think either one of us has a good side.
You don't
so
have a good side, it doesn't
We're
matter.
both bad sides.
All right, me too. We're both of the follically challenged. So thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And the thing that to me is so frustrating is that this cataclysmic thing happened to our country and people don't seem to understand it, understand the gravity of it. And, you guys were talking about how, it's unusual for people who have been, how many years experience do you have between you, would you say?
Well, Jim has several hundred, I think. Probably 80 or 90 between the two of us.
So here you are with all that experience. Have you ever seen anything like this happen in this country? I mean, anything like this kind of attack on our political system?
Well, no, not at least to me, as disturbing as this. I'm a Vietnam War veteran. I went through all the stresses that in the aftermath of the Vietnam War, but I never felt even then that our fundamental institutions were jeopardized. In fact, our fundamental institutions proved themselves resilient then, and we actually came out of all that a better country. And
okay, so let me give you guys some information. I did find an article that has information about today's arraignment and an actual time. And it's so the Associated Press, I think, has something scheduled for 11:30, and according to this article, there was scheduled for today at 11:30. Let me see if it's still. Well, yeah, the Associated Press has it for 11:15. This article here says. Too many windows open. Yahoo.com says that the updated records show he's scheduled to appear in the Superior Court at 11:30 a.m. Oh, front door. That might be my package, guys. Hold on. Oh, yeah. The video card. I'm not sure why this box has a hole in it, but for a very expensive video card, doesn't really makes me a little apprehensive. Like, what the hell? Why is this shit got a hole in it like that? And I tried talking to the guy, and he first of all, he doesn't speak English, and so I said, "Okay, ¿qué pasó?" Because I speak Spanish, motherfucker. And he's like, "Oh no, I don't know what happened." You know, always try to do that. I don't speak English. Yeah, right. Ooh, holy shit, bro. Ooh. Oh my god. Oh. Doesn't look beat up. Oh man. So sexy. 50-90, baby. Overkill. Okay. Hopefully there's no damage to it. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. All right. So the article... So, yeah, Yahoo says, yeah, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Being held without bond. New details emerge about the discovery of Rob's and Michele's bodies, who were found stabbed to death. So the New York Times apparently put out a report that said a massage therapist arrived at the home for a scheduled appointment, but received no answer at the gate. The massage therapist then called the couple's daughter, Rami, who came by with a roommate, entered the home, found her father's body. Rami fled the house in anguish without realizing her mother was also dead inside, according to the report. The daughter's roommate, who was waiting outside, called 911. Paramedics arrived around 3:30 p.m. and confirmed both Rob and Michele were dead. So that's the thing, because yesterday I read some story. There were some few reports were saying that, oh, she rolled in the ambulance, her mother was alive. But other people and somebody in the chat was telling me, you know, that they were dead for hours. So that's what it is. They were dead already. Romy told the paramedics that her 32-year-old brother, Nick, lived in the guest house on the property. But according to the Times, she did not suggest to the authorities that her brother might be a suspect, as some news outlets have reported. So that was another thing. Other news outlets were like, she told him it's this crazy motherfucker that lives with me. Not like that. You know, I'm adding spice to it. But I believe it's my brother. So apparently that's not true, according to the Times. And then Nick was found 15 miles away. Nick is special. Sorry. These are special circumstance charges. 2 counts of first-degree murder. And under California law, this allows prosecutors to seek the death penalty. Oh. Death penalty, man. Possible. It's a possibility. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Missy actually talked to somebody about that. He probably killed the father first. I mean, I've seen a lot of stories. Yeah, $3K. The video card was like $3,400. It's crazy. There's been stories where the perpetrators will kill the stronger person first, and then go for what they perceive to be the weaker person next. It's possible. Yeah, humans instinctively take out the bigger person. I literally had that conversation privately with somebody the other day. How he would have taken both of them out and surprised them like that, you know? Ross is in the chat. How you doing? I didn't see you. All these names. Oh, your name is still the same. Okay, cool. Oh, you have the 3090, 28 gigs of RAM. I have 128 also, and it's more than I could ever use. Yeah, the 4090 is a really good video card. Yeah, I love it. And now I got the 5090, which I heard is like nicer, 30% better. It's overkill, but I'm excited about it. A friend of the channel, McGinnis, he was saying he has the 4090 and it's no good. I'm like, there's no way. What? 4090s are good.
Hi, everybody. Dan Janik, NBC 10 News, back here on the scene of the shooting from last Saturday at the engineering building. Just trying to clear up a few things for you in terms of a lot of questions I've received. First is, why wasn't there any video in the hallway outside the classroom or outside the building where the shooting took place? So this is the engineering building behind me. Brown has roughly 800 to 1,000 cameras on his campus, but the building where the shooting happened, the classroom inside, is part of the old buildings right there, connected to the new buildings. New buildings, tons of cameras. Old building, none. So that's why when they said they have video from inside of students running away from the classroom, it's from the new building. Why the school with a $9 billion endowment doesn't put cameras or didn't put cameras in the old building to show who is coming in and out and who is in the hallways is obviously a question that parents who pay a lot of money for their kids to come here need to ask and will be asked. One law enforcement official told me it was baffling. Other thing, there's a man online where the internet has kind of gathered as their suspect with alleged ties to Brown University. We asked the authorities about him. They were aware of the postings, which were suddenly pulled down, and they say if it was credible, they would have investigated and interviewed him, and they said it's not. Brown University said that they did not pull those postings. So
who pulled them?
One thing I want to emphasize is while there is a search for a suspect, video released today, that everybody needs to look through and try to find any intricacies. And if you live in this neighborhood, you want to look at your Ring camera, not just from the day.
I don't know, man. It's odd. Doesn't make sense. It is odd. All right. I think I'm gonna hop off then. I guess I want to put this video card in. Hopefully, not destroy the computer or cause any damage. I want to put the video card in and then come back for 11:30 in an hour or so to see, I guess, if we catch a glimpse of this guy walking in. I guess.
I mean, we get into issues, and I would see, he would. The whole process for me, I can just speak for myself, it did make me understand him.
Yeah, I think he hated his parents. I think this kid hated his parents.
Issues, and I mean, we get into issues, and I would see, he would. The whole process for me, I can just speak for myself, it did make me understand him a lot more, and I think it made me a better father. Hopefully it did. I don't know, but I think that, and you'll see it in the film, what happens is, your kid, if your kid is going through rough times, the parent is, your main job is to keep your child safe. So I would do anything. I felt at a loss.
I don't know. He was homeless for a long time. I don't know what happened there. I know the drugs and the ultimatum, I guess, and then he came back to the guest house. Maybe the dad felt bad and brought him back, and bringing him back, this guy killed him. Jeez. Both of them. I don't understand why he killed the mother. Did he have problems with the mother too? Was he just in a rage, a drug rage? Why did he kill the mother? They don't want us to know the Brown shooter was. I know. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's odd that they still haven't caught this guy yet. I think today is the official fourth day, Matt, of the manhunt. Fourth day. The FBI did look kind of lost a little bit too when they were searching through the snow. I guess that's part of the procedure. But... Who's this? It's clinical psychologist. Let's see what the professional had to say. The professional.
There's been so much reporting about this party at Conan O'Brien's house where witnesses said he was fighting with his dad, that his mom intervened. It was very awkward and uncomfortable. And then this report tonight that actor comedian Bill Hader said he came up and barged into a personal conversation. It was pointed out to him, and he behaved very strangely. He stood there stone cold staring and then just huffed off. So, I mean, that doesn't sound like the kind of triggering event that would cause a double murder.
You know, you never know. It could, the main part of the trigger could be that his mental health was not in a good place. Then you've got the escalation of impulsivity, the disinhibition from substances, and then maybe there's a psychosis. Maybe there's somewhere where he's just not in reality. He's hearing voices. So he interrupts Bill. He doesn't even know what he says. No one knows what's going on. And then he kind of like, you know, leaves reality a bit. And we don't know when the murder actually happened.
Oh, you guys can't see.
Right. So we're looking at this compilation of his life and his relationships and his emotions and his mental health and his substances over decades.
I'm gonna point out a picture when we get to it. We're sort of on this rotating wheel of pictures right now, but it just occurred to me as I was looking at them. One of the pictures is of the family at the Spinal Tap premiere, which is pretty recent, actually. And you can tell something has happened to Nick. This is not the one. So look at Nick here on the far right. He's thin, he's tall, he's chiseled in the jaw, etc. That's the Spinal Tap picture. Look at the difference. I know, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover, but does that tell you anything, the remarkable change in his outer appearance?
Yes. I mean, even down to his attire. His attire is, you know, he's wearing a sweatshirt. He has gained weight. He looks disheveled. It tells you that he's not doing well, right? He's not at the best at where he was. And then you bring in the most recent dynamics of having to leave the home. He was not in a good place. And I think it was very clear to a lot of people around him. But why would you ever expect that he would kill his parents? You would never think that. His violence never escalated to that point that we know of. We don't know what happens inside the family.
So you said on your TikTok, Dr. Jobson, it was not inevitable, it was preventable. And I think a lot of people want to know, I've got problems in my family, or I've got an issue with my brother, my uncle, my cousin, my son, my daughter. What on earth do you mean by preventable? What kind of lessons can we learn from this?
I think we learn to be helpless when people are very, very difficult in our lives. We learn to be helpless. We learn that, okay, they will go to this level of violence. They have this range, but they've been in this range for such a long time that we don't anticipate them going further. Maybe they wreck up the guest house, but they don't go after a human being. Maybe they slap us, maybe they hit us, but they don't stab us. And when enough time passes and the behaviors have stayed in that range, we become helpless. We don't think we can make them better, but we don't think they're going to get worse. So we stop paying attention to the red flags, and they kind of fade into the background. When the red flags are still all there and the individual is still fantasizing, he is still growing in his mind this resentment, everything that was always there before, but we're just not a party to it.
Yeah, man. Now you're just locked up. No more smoking. Well, unless somebody sneaks it in for you. No more smoking, no more drinking, unless you get the hoochie, what do they call that in jail? Maybe you have to drink your own, concoct your own stuff. Or maybe to get some drugs, you're going to have to put out. You might have to start putting out in jail. If you want to get high again. That's wild. But all right, I'm going to get off for a bit. We'll be back. If he actually shows up in court, I'll be back. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything on the inside. It's going to be the outside, but I'll show up just to check out. We'll see if we see the guy, and also to see if Alan Jackson is out there. I know Alan was smiling. He left from one cheek to the other yesterday, ear to ear. It's like, yes, I got it, yes. The next one. Next low life. I think he went on antipsychotics. They've had him home and better, and he relapsed and went off his meds thinking he didn't need them. All right, guys. I'll catch you. Be safe. Be safe. It's Wednesday. I feel like we got forever to get to Friday, but I guess 2 days.